What did she do to you?
Were you around season 2? What did she do?
That's what I'm asking you.
Contracts, hair, throwing me under the bus, trying to get me kicked off the show.
Virtual reality.
Hi, I'm Danny Murphy.
And I'm Evan Real.
And there have been some less secrets and more answers about the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives after this reunion, right, Evan?
Oh my God, yes. A whopping 2-hour reunion special. How blessed are we?
Blessed, but also I was not prepared.
Blessed and stressed.
Blessed and stressed.
Yeah.
Which I think some of the girls were, because this was their first reunion hosted by Nick Viall.
Yes.
From the Viall Files and The Bachelor and all that jazz. And I think they all were kind of like, okay, what are we going to dive into? They covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
A lot of like touching on season 1.
Right.
But we got into a lot of the mix. And Jessi got off right to the races.
Immediately, we learned a lot about her situation. Well, we didn't learn too much because we have to tune into season 3. We're going.
She's a promo queen.
Yes, she is. She was like, tune into season 3. We'll see a lot more unfold as it pertains to the rumors that she made out / also sort of had sex with Marciano from
more than
Vanderpump Villa. Yeah, more than derping and docking.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we did learn that she is no longer wearing her wedding ring. And Nick Viall, he noticed.
Very delicately. He was like, you're wearing a lot of rings. Not your wedding ring.
I notice you have a lot of rings on your finger, but not your wedding ring.
Yeah.
Very smooth, Nick. He's a pro at dwarfing, I guess. Very smooth with that. But yeah, then Jessi was like, we're working through it. But her man was there, Jordan.
Yeah, standing behind her.
I am curious what they're working through, how that is going for them. You know what I mean?
Was it giving separation, kind of? Or like a trial separation, perhaps?
It was giving whatever Dakota and Taylor's going through.
At the end of the day, I cannot sit in the same bed with him and have peace. So we will never be together now.
They're going.
Because I don't know what, you know what I mean? I don't.
So with Taylor and Dakota, this is the first time I think Taylor, to me at least, I mean, I know she has said a lot about how she wants to move forward in her relationship with Dakota.
Yes.
But something about the way she said she was done with Taylor and their romantic relationship.
Well, because she said, all I'm getting is sex.
Well, right. And
yeah.
So that's all she was getting. So I think she has said goodbye to it on the whole, sort of. I don't know about on the whole, but in the whole, we don't know what's happening. I think he might be an ex with benefits. I have no idea, but it did feel more definitive. Than it ever has.
You were saying, you clocked it, he's never looked better.
Wait.
You think he got a hair transplant, right?
Well, we
can talk about it, right?
Yes, he definitely got a hair transplant for sure. I think several of the Mormon Wives' husbands got one because we saw Connor when they flashed back to some, I guess, confessional with Whitney and Connor.
Whitney looking blonde as a bat. Like yes. I was like, I've never seen
bleach blonde. She looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Connor was making a revelation about his past childhood trauma, which was very brave of him. But while he was doing that. Fully hair transplant healing energy, and I know what it looks like because my husband had a hair transplant. So you know, but it looks good on him, but it looks really good on Taylor. I mean Dakota.
Yeah. But do we think you think Taylor and Dakota are?
I don't know.
Do you think they should be done?
I think they should be done.
Okay.
I think everyone thinks they should be done, but I think it's hard for them to give each other up because despite how toxic they are, there is some sort of chemistry there, and they have a kid, and the drop-offs.
That's the drama
and
with all
the
Mormon Wives people.
Right.
They have kids with these people.
And now Dakota's looking really good with his hair transplant. I think he's a little bit buffer these days. He's been in the gym. Okay. The beard is looking good. The suit was looking good. Still not sold on his personality.
Okay.
But if I were Taylor, I could be tempted to derf and duck. And
you know what's bad when all
him.
The guys were like, land the plane to give half an apology. Or like half an ownership of fault.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, did any of it land for you? No, not really.
It landed like Demi's flight to the reunion.
Oh, right.
Because she was in Disney. Yeah. It's a small world after all.
But she did sit down with Nick Viall ahead of time. And so throughout the entire reunion, we got these moments where Demi was talking about the drama, and the cast was responding to the drama that she was unpacking with Nick to Nick at the reunion that she wasn't there for.
I wish I could say that I regret the way that I handled that. I don't. There's a humanness to me that goes, yeah, you were dealing with a lot. We all are going through a lot.
Do you think it helped her, or do you think it hurt her?
Did no favors.
Yeah.
Because to me, and I think even in one of the things she was saying, Jen Affleck ran away scared.
And
who's the one not facing anybody at the reunion?
Well, as Jen pointed out, yeah. I mean, it's
also,
weird. You can reschedule a trip to Disney. I'm sorry.
I mean, fast pass. They're so fast.
Right.
They're fast year round.
Yeah.
And she was also making claims that like all the girls are afraid of Taylor, right? She was saying.
And everyone said that they really
and
aren't
also that
scared
Taylor
of Taylor.
Taylor doesn't give anybody else his chance or stuff like that. And I love that Jessi was like, actually, when Demi was trying to make more money than everybody else, Taylor was like, I made mom talk, and I don't even think I should make more money than all of you.
Right.
Girl's girl.
Totally. I also do love how Taylor said at the reunion, I'm just so calm and cool and collected. I'm actually like really easygoing. I'm not scary at all, except for Dakota.
Which, who can't relate?
Yeah.
When you're wronged by a man, sometimes you have to scare them.
Yeah.
How else will they listen?
Right. I don't think he's gonna listen anytime soon. So hopefully.
But Demi's only ally is Whitney, it seems.
Yeah, and how do you feel about that? Do you agree with the other women on the cast that it just feels a bit convenient now that Demi is no longer friends with really anyone on the cast? Whitney, who was previously on the outs with everyone, they're buddying up, and it
seems like actually it's a friendship of inconvenience to Whitney.
Right,
because
exactly.
Whitney could have a good relation or has an okay relationship with a lot of ladies, but her defending Demi this reunion, I think really pissed a lot of them off, where she was like, oh, they have bully tendencies. Oh, she's going through a lot.
Right.
And everyone's like, we all are.
Right. That's actually a really good point. It is a friendship of inconvenience.
Right.
I mean, it's definitely it's beneficial for Demi, who has no allies, but for Whitney, if now that she's back in the good graces of, I feel like the majority of the cast, except for Michaela, who still hates her with a burning passion. Although they did have a little hugging moment, which was kind of cute, but that was only because Nick Viall told them to hug.
And it was Whitney walking over to hug Michaela.
Yeah. So
it wasn't a 50-50 hug. It was a 95-5.
Right. But everyone on the cast does seem to be okay-ish with Whitney. So you would think that she would perhaps use that to her advantage, that everyone is now on the outs with Demi, and then she could be like, well, I hate Demi too, and then it could give her more brownie points with everyone else.
That's true. And do you think, speaking of Demi, do you think one of the main reasons, besides everyone kind of hating her on the couch, do you think she knew Marciano sent Jessi those texts?
She probably had an idea.
Because Marciano, he's being really shady, and like he's getting in the weeds so much here. And I'm like, oh, why are we still talking about Vanderpump Villa?
I know, he loves the attention, and he probably feels so blessed and fortunate that he has found himself in a position where he's been such a main point of discussion on season 2 of Mormon Wives. But as we saw in a trailer for season 3, he's also
taking
going
lie
to
detecting tests.
Yes.
Would you be open to the lie detector test? You ready? Moment of truth. He's literally saying right here. Oh my god, no.
I can't believe it.
No.
He also probably can't believe it.
Yeah, no. We got to talk about oyster cum.
Oyster cum? Okay.
Because that was how we kicked off the room.
Yes, it is. Yes. How could we forget about oyster cum?
And that was, it's not a new spatial.
Well, not like a salmon sperm facial, but it could be. I do kind of feel like you could use oyster cum as skincare.
Let us know. Yeah, Dr. Someone, let us know. So Demi was apparently texting Marciano, which I'm like, I would actually, not even for like the cheating accusations, just for if these are how you sexted.
Wait, so remind us, how are they sexting with
she literally was like,
emojis?
She sent a photo of oysters. I was like, ew.
Oh, this was a picture of oysters.
Oh, okay. He writes, LOL, don't be a baby. She responds, it's no different than swallowing cum.
And as we know, oysters are an aphrodisiac.
And then he's like, oh, come on, they're not that bad. And she's like, didn't she say it's like, it tastes like cum, ha ha ha, which I like, something like that. And then he was like, stop. And she just sent an emoji, oyster.
And an eggplant. And some like,
some squirtle. So is the proof in the pudding of the oyster cum that they did more than what they're saying? Is that what we're led to believe?
I mean, look, yes. Yes. You don't just text someone about oyster cum and make jokes with eggplant emojis and squirt. And now I am curious, do you think she did? Because in the text it was C*M. Was that Hulu or her? I think it was probably Hulu, because they also changed the font, I think because Instagram has copyright around the font. So they changed it to like a Times New Roman. So I think that Hulu, which is owned by Disney. And we're part of Mickey Mouse's family. It's even now wait, part of Mickey Mouse's family. Hulu, you couldn't have gotten Demi
tickets for another time at Disney.
Oh, that's so true.
Minnie couldn't have been like, hey, honey, come next week.
Come next week.
Oyster. Now that
I felt like I feel like the text messages were very incriminating.
Very incriminating. And also, was it also no? Jen Affleck had the voice memo from Demi, right?
Yeah. So Demi was trying to, I guess, force Jen to characterize conversations in a way that she felt would fit her narrative. Jen wasn't about it, and I love that Jen brought out that receipt.
Brought it out, yes.
That was interesting.
It was interesting.
Because Brett was also involved. It seems that Brett and Demi are very image conscious. You know, they're really worried about how they're perceived, which is interesting then that Demi went to Vanderpump Villa, flirted so hard with Marciano, even after girls like Michaela had warned her, like, hey, we're not really famous yet, but word on the street is that we're all swingers. And so if you're overly flirtatious with anyone here, they're going to get this wrong idea of you that you're some...
And then didn't Michaela say, like, Demi fought back at that, like, oh, you're trying to slut shame me?
Yes, that you're trying to slut shame me. And then she was like, I know the boundaries of my marriage, but the viewer doesn't, Marciano doesn't. And now you've found yourself in this pickle, Demi.
Sounds like you and Brett were using different systems, metric and, you know.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't know. Little messy.
They also talked a lot about plastic surgery again.
Shout out.
Which we love. We always love the Mormon girls talking about plastic surgery.
And I have to say, because we have had beautiful, amazing conversations with Layla in the past.
Yes.
We talked about plastic surgery and her relationship with all of that, but I didn't realize maybe, I don't know if she was like having part of that or just that part of her story was struggling with an eating disorder.
I know, yeah.
And I felt like I really loved that she had the space for that. Really unfortunate that she's battling that, but I felt her opening up about that and then also her
self-harm,
struggling with self-harm, I thought was really brave and took a lot of courage for her to share.
Totally.
Especially in like a reunion setting where you don't always know how are people going to receive everything. But it seems like with this entire cast and group, when the conversations weave to those more serious things, like also Connor opening up about his childhood assault, they really are a group that tries to help each other out when they can and show support.
Yeah, totally.
It seems like the guys really are good at that too.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, some very emotionally intelligent men. Macy's man crying so hard when everyone had a story to share.
A little softy. He's such a sweetie.
I know. I'm obsessed with him.
Yeah. Nick was getting aroused talking about all the Mormon terms too.
Yes, he was. We've been mentioning them here and there. Derfing, docking. There was
Dunkarooing.
There was something else. Oh, also, I guess Mormons go to Vegas for
a BYU weekend.
For some sort of crazy BYU weekend. They leave BYU so they can have sex
and then get it annulled.
Yes.
Religion is so funny to me.
It's a lot of work.
Because like, does God not fly to Vegas?
Right.
That's my question.
I know. Yeah, he's there too.
And I thought you can. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's it. You get married in Vegas, and then so it's right. But if you're getting married in Vegas, I don't think that is a marriage recognized in the eyes of the Mormon church, just in the eyes of Elvis.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't...
No, I've seen Honora. They got married. Yeah,
I don't know how that works out. But, I mean, it's incredible to see what these kids will do to get it in.
To get it going. To have some oysters.
But porn is not cool. Because we saw Connor opening up about his porn addiction and how he felt very bad about that. So, you know, the Mormon Wives reunion, it really gave us so many levels
and announcements.
And announcements. Yes. What was the big announcement?
The big announcement they were teasing.
That was going to change everyone's lives forever.
I feel changed. I feel like I was Glinda and Elphaba.
Oh, okay.
I have been changed for good. That Jen Affleck and Whitney are on Dancing with the Stars. And the only reason I said it like that is because that's how Nick announced it.
She might not be related to the stars, but she's going to be dancing with them. Congratulations, Jen Affleck. Dancing with the Stars.
Are you ready for that second announcement?
Yeah, do it.
Whitney Levitt.
Yeah, what did you think of the fake out? That Jen was the
Messy.
one. Okay, you thought he was being
Rude.
messy.
But also, I hope Whitney, because I know she wants to be an actress, used her excitement for Jen in that moment for her future self-tapes and etc. Because she did act very excited for her, even though she was sad.
She did, even though it was like really hurting her inside. Because I also thought it was interesting that Nick Viall, he revealed that every girl on the cast, it seems, auditioned for Dancing with the Stars. And then he was like, so who do you think should get it? Who deserves it the most? And the general consensus was Jen, because apparently this has been a lifelong dream for her.
I also love she's wanted to be on, not So You Think You Can Dance, but Dancing with the Stars. So she knew she wanted to be
Famous.
Famous, not as a dancer, to go on Dancing with the Stars.
I'm kind of obsessed with that for her.
Yeah.
She saw the future. She knew what was going to happen.
She looked into her mirror ball.
That's right.
Exactly. But you have a hunch of who's going to win.
I have a really good feeling about Whitney. I think that both girls are rhythmically gifted.
Okay.
But I think that Whitney has a fire inside her that will burn bright into the final four. Mm-hmm. And I will give her enough votes to make sure that she wins that mirror ball trophy. Yeah. I'm obsessed with Whitney.
Oh,
I'm really obsessed with Whitney.
She's so fun. Yeah.
I love her.
And also she has a husband that's not as jealous. Because that's going to be in Jen's head.
Yeah, so
that's going to be in Jen's head when she's practicing to dance with the guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, because we all know how the Chippendales went.
Yeah, and Dancing with the Stars, they get even more intimate.
Right, exactly.
Sorry, Jen, but
I don't know. I'm hoping, we were talking about this earlier on Page 6 Radio. I'm hoping that Jen gets paired with a married ballroom pro who feels secure in his marriage.
Gleb look alive.
Perhaps he'll be with Ezra, our only gay male dancer ballroom pro.
Zach, well, I don't know what Zach would be mixed with that, but approve it probably.
Oh,
I don't know.
I think do you know what? A lot of the Mormon Wives girlies are at these pride parades.
That's true.
So I think he'd be cool with that, and also feel really safe and secure that his wife wouldn't fall in love with the. Well, I don't know.
Who knows?
Jen could turn a man.
Oh, he's gonna come after you now.
Don't come after me, Zach.
Don't have voices with Evan.
I'm actually kind of scared of you, Zach, so please don't come after me. No, Zach's a cutie. He's fine.
Okay, there we go.
Everyone's a cutie.
I
love everyone.
Everyone's a cutie patootie. We love that for you.
Yeah, especially Dakota with that beard and the hair transplant and the gym.
And the cutest thing, though, was the season 3 trailer because it looks so good.
I know.
We are excited to get into that with you all. So if you missed that at the end of the reunion, be sure to watch it, and we're going to be recapping it.